From Colonia High School in Colonia, TV3 Sports presents the Middlesex County Athletic Conference matchup between the Woodbridge Barrons and the Colonia Patriots. Hello everyone, and welcome once again to high school football here on TV3's Action Arena. And today we have a very good matchup for you in the MCAC, the Middlesex County Athletic Conference, between inter-township rivals Woodbridge and Colonia. I'm Paul Spahala. With me, as always, is Bill Horry. And Bill, looks to be a very good ball game today. These two clubs have always played it close amongst each other. The big rivalry, of course, is going to be a big issue in today's ball game.
Paul, this promises to be a real knock 'em down and drag 'em out kind of a football game. You know, the kind of a football game that football coaches like to be a part of. There's a lot at stake today. You know, it's not only an inter-community rivalry, but a lot that happens today will play a part in what happens in the state playoffs, you know, and these kids know it. They know that if they lose today, why, their chances to make the state playoffs are going to be kind of slim. So that must certainly be a factor in their minds today and contributing to the intensity of this game.
Well, the factor is that Woodbridge is 2-2. Of course, a loss will knock them out of the playoff picture. Colonia is 3-1, so a loss will not knock them out, but they know they have a very tough game coming up with J.P. Stevens 2 weeks from now. So, of course, that's going to be playing on their minds. Let's talk a little bit defensively for Woodbridge. They're coming off a really tough loss last week to a good East Brunswick club by a score of 31-0. Bill, interestingly, the leading tackler for Woodbridge is their safety, Roger Vernon.
Well, that's unfortunate because that means he's had to make a lot of tackles. Now, he's obviously a very good football player, but that doesn't speak too well for the interior, the defensive line of the 4-4, or the people that are playing up front for Woodbridge. They're not particularly small, you know. They're fairly good size, that defensive line, and they're going to have to play very well today if they're going to stay in a football game, Paul.
One thing we just found out before the game, they will get a boost in that Ron Lukash, who's both their starting fullback and a starting inside linebacker, will play today. He was questionable. That's obviously got to be a benefit for Woodbridge.
They're going to need whatever compensations they can get. The offensive line from Woodbridge is not a particular line, and I look for the key situation in that offensive line being whether or not those two offensive guards can handle the big linebackers and the big tackles from Colonia. That's going to be a big if. If they can manage to do that, I think that Woodbridge can stay in the game and maybe win it. You know, they're not a bad football team. They're a good football team.
Well, one of the players that anchors both the offensive line and the defensive line for the Colonia Patriots is also a three-way player. He's also a place kicker, John Fabo.
Yeah, and he's a good football player. He does a lot of things, and he's good size, and it may just come down to him and his place kicking because it could be that kind of a game.
Fabo, 6 feet, 220. He is a big player, and that, if anything, is going to be the story of the game. Colonia has the size over Woodbridge, comparing offensive line to defensive line and vice versa. The size favors the Patriots.
Especially that the Woodbridge offensive line is a small line. You know, they average about 175, and they're going against people that are average about 220. Now, they run the kind of an offense where they move around a lot. By move around a lot, I mean those guards will pull a lot. You know, they'll trap a lot. They'll angle block a lot. And they're going to have to do that, and do that very effectively if they're going to stay in this ball game. Otherwise, they're going to get blown out.
This has been a tight series, however. In that last year, using that as a comparison, Woodbridge was a winner by a score of 7-0. It was the first win for the Barrons in 7 years against Colonia, although there were 2 ties thrown into the series. So 7 years, Woodbridge just picking up their first win in the series. Last year, once again, by the close score of 7-0. They've played it close for the last 7 years, and we expect the same today when we see Middlesex County Athletic Conference football between the Barrons of Woodbridge and the Patriots of Colonia. We'll be right back with the opening kickoff.
Five of the high school football season is
Welcome back to Colonia High School on an overcast Saturday, but we should be set for what promises to be an excellent and close football game between the Patriots and the Barrons of Woodbridge. The Patriots, the home team, of course, the Barrons coming from just nearby Woodbridge, about a 5-minute drive from here. 5-man officiating crew today. Somewhat unusual to see, but we will have 5 referees taking part today. Dick Matarante is our referee from West Virginia. The umpire, Tony Orsini from Scranton. Head linesman is Lou Mazzaro from Rutgers. The line judge is Frank Martone from Panzer College. The back judge is Mark Burns from Syracuse. And our clock operator is Don Matruska, who is also from Rutgers University. Colonia in the blue and gold will receive the kickoff and defend the goal to our right. The Barrons of Woodbridge are wearing the white and black, and of course they are on the far side of the field. There you see the Barrons, white jerseys with the black numerals, black pants, black helmets with the red trim. On the near sideline, the Colonia Patriots, the dark blue jerseys with the white numerals, gold pants, blue helmets, and of course gold trim. Fifth game of the season for each team. Barrons coming in at 2-2. They are coming off a loss at the hands of East Brunswick, 31-0, whereas Colonia is riding a one-game winning streak. They defeated Perth Amboy last week, 20-0. Pat Barbado, the head coach of the Colonia Patriots, saw his team pick up 2 wins to start off the season. They lost to Edison and then defeated Perth Amboy last week.
Well, Colonia has been a big play team to date. That hasn't made Pat very happy. He'd like to be able to run at people. He'd like to be able to get a little more physical this afternoon.
On the other hand, Frank Capraro would like to see some big plays for his Woodbridge Barons. Frank is 2-2 on the season. Started off with a win against Sayreville, lost to J.P. Stevens. They beat Cedar Ridge, and then last week, as I mentioned, were shut out by East Brunswick. Kicking off, Bill, kicking off, we expect to see Joe Zizik for the Barons, and back deep for the Patriots is Lamont Swain. Zizik gets it started, and Swain will field it at the 10-yard line. Gets across the 25, slips and falls there, so the Patriots will start at about their own 27. Offensively, the Patriots look this way. The right side tackle is Mark Grabon. Eric Brummer is the right guard. Ron Schneider, the center. Left side is John Fabo and Darren Johnson. The backs and receivers, halfback Lamont Swain, fullback Dom Shizvetti. The flanker is Bob Haynes, and the ends are Scott Greiner and Dave Shimko. Mark Schillinger calls signals for the Patriots. He has completed 27 of 40 for 481 yards. He has thrown 6 touchdown passes. Shizvetti gets the first call, makes very little yardage. Woodbridge comes out in a 4-4 defense. The front is Eric Kindler and Jeff Graham on the right side, Tom Gould and Glenn Capilla on the left side. 4 linebackers, Joe Zizik and Bob Borowski on the outside, Ron Lukács, Mike Loro on the inside. And the secondary is Bill Zega, Roger Vernon, and Jeff Gagnon. 2nd and 7 for the Patriots.
That was Kindler on that first stop, Paul. A good play.
We've got a flag, our first flag of the day, and it might be interference, although it's going to be questionable to see which way. And I'm sure, as you noticed right there, Mark Schillinger is a left-handed quarterback. Defensive pass interference.
The ball wasn't thrown particularly well, and I guess the defender didn't see the ball, because had he seen the ball, he certainly would not have interfered. No way would that ball have been caught.
15 big yards, takes the ball out to the 45-yard line, and Colonia has their first down of the afternoon.
In a game that's going to prove to be, I think, this intense, those are the kind of mistakes that teams have got to avoid if they're going to win, Paul.
Shizvetti and Swain in the backfield. The pitch back to Swain, and he is going to be stacked up and dropped for a loss of 1 on the play. Ron Lukács coming through to pick up the stop.
And he was stopped by number 44, Ron Lukács.
Ron Lukács was a questionable starter today. Here's the replay. Watch the hit by number 44.
Ron's an inside linebacker. Now watch him follow the ball. The end gets blocked out. Linebacker fills very quickly and did a good job.
23rd solo tackle of the year for Ron Lukács. 2nd and 12. Give to Shizvetti, first man through. And Chichevetti has 2, maybe 3 yards before Jeff Graham and Tom Gould wrap him up.
And he was stopped by number 72, Nick Racer.
That defensive line for Woodbridge is a pretty good-sized line. They must average about 225, Paul. It's their offensive line that I think Coach is a little concerned about in terms of their size and their matchup with the Colonia defense.
3rd and 9, another passing situation for Mark Schillinger. Once again, he's 27 of 40, completing 67% on the year. Haynes comes into the slot. Schillinger straight back, goes across the middle, and he finds Robert Haynes across the Woodbridge 40 for a Patriot first down.
That's a very well thrown ball. He had to put the ball right there.
Straight drop back for Schillinger. Robert Haynes, just a junior, plays the flanker position and plays it well. Coming into the game, 6 receptions, averaging over 11 yards per catch.
Came across the middle in the zone that time and found a little crease, and the quarterback had to throw the ball just right, and he did.
Sean Campbell for about 2 yards, wrapped up by Eric Kindler, number 84. Kindler, 6'3", 194 senior. And you'll see him play on offense also. So Schillinger is 1 for 1 on the day passing.
Kindler's made 2 real good plays already, and he's a good football player.
2nd and 8 for the Patriots. Fake to Chichevetti. The give to Haynes. And Haynes will make about 4 yards on the play.
After a short game, 3rd and 5. For Colonia from the Woodbridge 31.
Haynes is generally not a running player. He's more in there as a receiver at the flanker, but picked up about 4 on the play.
Paul, this is 4-down territory. They can, if they can maintain ball control and gain 2 or 3 yards on this play, they'll have a short 2 or so to go for on 4th down.
Griner is split left. Schillinger rolling left. Tosses, and it's complete once again to Robert Haynes at the sideline at about the 23-yard line. That should be enough, and will be enough, for another Colonia first down. This is what we expected to see, Bill, a little rollout passing.
Yeah, he's going to throw mostly from rollouts and mostly from play action. For whatever reason, the defensive safety had played it very safe. He'd gone very deep and left a big hole right in front of him.
Joe White making his first appearance in the game at the halfback position. And I believe Vic Heidacher is in as the fullback. This is White with the carry. White scoots outside. He is tripped up by Gagnon coming up from the cornerback position.
His quick feet got him about 3 or 4 yards that he had no business getting. He was hit right about at the line of scrimmage and still managed to squirt through for about 3 yards, Paul.
Joe White not getting too many carries on the year, but makes the most of them, averaging almost 4 yards per carry. He got a little less than 3 that time.
They're definitely in 4-down territory now, Paul.
Schillinger roll out left. He's got a completion. And they've also got the referee, and the referee is hurt. Completed to Lamont Swain, and the official is down. Watch for the official getting hurt after the completion here.
Quick out, Paul, and there's the official trying to make sure, you know, just trying to do his job. He didn't want to get too far from the play, and as a result, he got tangled up in the play. That's what happens when you get to be too conscientious.
We believe that's Lou Nazaro, who's shaken up. And very quickly, the first aid squad reacting and helping him out. And I believe he'll continue playing.
You can't keep those tough old buzzards off the field, Paul.
Well, on the play, it was a good completion for about 3 yards to Lamont Swain.
Well, it was a good out, you know, and it's a good time to run that play because it's a safe pass, and if he avoids the tackle, why, he's in the end zone.
Third down, about 5. Schillinger looking again left, and he's got a completion this time to Dave Shimko.
The cornerback has got to back up, you know. He can't play that short zone. He's got to play the deepest man in his zone. And what they're doing, Paul, is they're sending 2 men into that zone. They're sending
Shimko.
1 deep.
Watch Shimko keep his balance on the line to stay in for the completion.
But people might ask, you know, why is he so close to the end line? Well, he's there because if he doesn't catch it, the ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be an incomplete pass. He doesn't want to risk the interception. That's smart football.
First and 10 from just outside the 11. Lamont Swain on the carry. Now, Bill, you have to see a tendency here. Colonia has thrown their first 4 or 5 passes to the left.
Well, what they're doing, Paul, is they're flooding that zone. They're taking the cornerback deep, you know, and throwing someone in the underneath pattern. There's no way that cornerback's going to be able to contain that play unless he gets some help from the inside linebacker. The inside linebacker's going to have to roll up quickly on that side. And obviously, if he does that, why, the threat of the draw, the quick pop is going to hurt him. Something like that is liable to hurt him, you know.
Sean Campbell on the carry, but he lost his footing. I should say that we did have a downpour, I would say about an hour and a half before game time. I walked the field before the game. It is not muddy at all. The portions where there is grass will be slippery. And since there is no sun out right now, that should stay that way for the entire game.
The Woodbridge defense is going to have to roll up to the side of the split end, I think, this time.
Let's see what happens here. Third
He's a
and
lefty,
9.
And he likes to go left. Well, there he goes right, just because I said that.
Looking across the middle now. Flags are down. Scott Griner, cutting across the middle on the goal line, was knocked down by Bill Zega.
Well, it was either knock him down or watch him catch the ball for a touchdown, and maybe defensively it wasn't all that bad a play. Paul, they're going to have to put pressure on that quarterback somehow. The defensive front four is so conscious of trying to not be moved out, not being pushed around. What they're doing is they're not getting a good pass rush.
The ball is placed on the 5. It's a half the distance penalty.
And it's a first down, Paul.
First and goal. The give to Swain. He tries to spin away, but Lukács has him at the line of scrimmage. It'll be second and goal.
Woodbridge is doing a good job of containing the run, but they're having problems with the pass. And like I say, if they shoot any of those inside linebackers, they're going to be especially vulnerable unless they get to the quarterback. You can't have your cake and eat it. Either you put pressure on the quarterback or you stay back and defend the run. Now they're man-to-man coverage out in the flank.
Through the middle, touchdown. Rob Spinello. From 5 yards out, Robert Spinello.
Not too much room. The line is contained, and Spinello kind of makes his own hole. He seeps around there. The offensive line is just firing out. No trapping in there. They're just going man-to-man. And Spinello finds a little room and gets into the end zone for a good 6-yard touchdown.
John Fabo attempting the placement, and it is off to the right.
And that could be important, too.
A very early important point that is missed, but still, Colonia now owns a 6-0 advantage over the Woodbridge Barrons. The score coming with 5 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Paul, I heard you comment just before the game that this promises to be a very low-scoring game. If you're true to form, we'll go into the 30s for each team. No, I kind of guessed it'd be low scoring too, but it just doesn't look that way. Not if Colonia is going to feel free to throw as they are.
Frank Capraro is waiting for his team to get the ball. Colonia scored on their first possession. It took them 6 minutes and 33 seconds to score. John Fabo will do the kicking for the Patriots.
Colonia's defense is not the same, you know. Colonia's defense is a five-man front. They play a 5-2, and they sit in a 5-2 most of the game. They won't hop around. They're big people, strong people, and they kind of dare you to run at them.
Short kick is fielded by Mark Nemeth, and Nemeth will take it out to the 36-yard line. For the Patriots, their scoring drive consisted of 15 plays, 11 of those on the ground, 4 in the air. They went 73 yards, and Spinello scored from 5 yards out. Offensively for the Barrons today, Tom Gould, Mike Lauro on the right side, Pat Rode in the center. Kevin Wazarek is the left side guard, and Dennis DiMarino is the left side tackle. Backs and receivers are Urban, Lukacs, Boudelet, Boyle, and Kindler. Roll out right for Boudelet, and he just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Number 5, Tom Sosnowski, is calling signals today for the Woodbridge Barrons. On the season, he's 20 of 48 for 47%, 206 yards, 2 interceptions, and 3 touchdown passes for the junior.
Paul, they're going to have to get some work out of their Mike Lauro and Kevin Wierzak.
Spinello wraps up the running back at the line of scrimmage. Defensively, Colonia will run a 5-2. On the right side, Rob Spinello and Mark Grabon. The nose guard is Eric Grummer. The left side tackle, Mike Lando, and John Fabo is the left end. The 2 linebackers are Dom Shizvetti and Greg Lambert. And the deep backs are Vic Highdoctor and Mike Chin. Dandridge and Haynes are the safeties.
Passing down, Paul.
3rd and 8. Vernon split to the right. Sosnowski looking for Boudelet, and it is incomplete. Punting situation for the Barrons.
Number 34, Derek Boudelet, incomplete. It was knocked down by 31.
Woodbridge will drop back pass a lot more than Colonia will. About 50% of Woodbridge's passing attack is a drop back passing attack out of the Delaware wing tee. Colonia, as you noticed, does a lot of sprint out and a lot of roll out passing, a lot of play action work.
Frank Icavone is the punter for the Barrons. He gets off a low kick. Drop. And down at the 23, Joe White has to fall on it. And that is where the Patriots will begin their second possession.
That was a loose ball, Paul. That was anybody's ball just as soon as he touched it.
Patriots in front on a touchdown in their very first possession.
Well, what happens now, obviously, is going to be very important. They can't let them march the length of the field and use up the clock as they did. They must have used about 7 minutes that first drive.
Lamont Swain on the carry. We've got an official timeout here. The scoreboard clock has stopped working. Colonia's substitution. Andy Devine has gone in as the right side guard. Eric Brummer is limping off the field. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Patriots.
Woodbridge is doing a good job of containing the run. That was Bill Zaga coming in from safety again, the fellow that we spoke of pre-game, making all the tackles. That was one of his again. That's no good when the safety's got to come up. You'd rather see your cornerback and your men make those kind of stops.
3rd down, passing situation. They fake the sweep. Schillinger going across the middle. He's got Shimko across the 40. Shimko works his way out to the 48-yard line, and it's another Patriot first down, but we've got a flag. In the backfield, we've got a flag, although it does not appear to be a holding penalty. Here is the replay.
That could be roughing the passer, I don't know. It's obviously a penalty against Woodbridge.
Barrons will have a choice of first down where it is, or they might lose some yardage.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And that's exactly the situation. You heard Dick Moderante.
That's just a matter of frustration, you know. It's third. They held him 2 times, and 3rd and long, and I guess, I don't know statistically, but it seems to me like it's about 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 in passes, Paul.
Well, Schillinger is hot so far.
I don't remember an incomplete pass.
From the Colonia 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Pitch back to Joe White. White rolling outside. Chisvetti blocking for him. White still on his feet as he crosses the Woodbridge 40 for another Patriot first down.
Paul, those things happen when you're conscious of passing the ball, when you're trying to defend the pass now.
Chisvetti blocking for White. And there you see number 32 clearing the way for an extra 5-yard pickup for Joe White.
Yeah, that was Chisvetti made that play. He blocked that defensive end and permitted him to turn the corner.
Bob Haynes comes out split wide left. The give right up the middle to Lamont Swain. And Swain is hit and dropped by Pat Koseski, but not until Swain picks up about 4.
You know, it's tough enough giving a team like Colonia 3 downs. They're getting down now where they're going to get 4 tries at that goal line now. He picked up 5 yards on the first try now. From where he is, he can have 4 shots at it.
Schillinger is 5 of 5 for 58 yards.
You don't get any better than that.
Back to Joe White. White got another excellent block, this time from Robert Haynes and Chisvetti. Both Haynes and Chisvetti came up and cut down the defensive end, cleared the way for White to pick up, yardage where he'll be about 2 yards shy of a first down.
And had it not been for Bill Zaga, that play would have gone to root. Bill came up just when it looked like he was going to sprint to the goal line. He saved 2 touchdowns that I've seen to date. He's a good football player. He finds a football real quick.
The clock has not been fixed, so official time is now being kept on the field of play. Chisvetti, more than enough for a first down, carries it down to about the 23.
He just split that defensive line that time, man-to-man blocking. He just split the defensive tackle and the defensive end, and away he went. He blocked the end out and the tackle in, and there's plenty of room to run.
Vernon had to come up and help out on the tackle. 1st and 10 from the 24. Pitch back to Joe White. White trying to get outside, ducks it inside, and picks up a couple yards.
And he was stopped by number 67, Mike Lauro, and 69, Glenn Capilla.
You know, Paul, that end on that side is doing everything he can to stop that play. He's, as soon as he sees motion in his direction, he's piling up the play. The cornerback and the safety have got to come up and help, and the interior linebackers have got to come up and help on that sweep. He can't do it by himself. No way.
White got 2 on the play, make it 2nd and 8. Fake to Chisvetti. Roll out left. Pressure is on. Schillinger gets it away, but throws it short for Lamont Swain. And that is the first incomplete pass of the day for Mark Schillinger.
And he really didn't have to throw that, did he, Paul? He could have kept it and possibly gained some more yardage.
And that is the end of the first quarter of play. Colonia in front by a score of 6-0. We'll be right back.
The Cable Guide brings Say Never Again exclusively in the Cable Guide. Showtime presents
minutes and 36 seconds.
Man, that's unusual, but... And they controlled the ball pretty much with their short passing game. It wasn't their running game that controlled the ball, which is also very unusual. Every third and long, why they seem to be able to complete. And that's what's got them where they are. Once again, they're third and long.
They give to White up the middle, and White does not have enough yardage for a first down. In the first quarter, the statistics obviously will dominate for Colonia. 8 first downs to none. 49 yards rushing to just 2 for the Barrons. 58 yards in the air on 5 of 5 completions. Total yards obviously favoring the Patriots, and offensive plays, Woodbridge only ran off 3. And that's why they only had the ball for 1 minute and 24 seconds.
Very difficult to score unless you have the ball, Paul.
Colonia going on a 4th down and 5 situation. Roll out left. Back across the middle for Griner, touchdown. 18-yard touchdown pass, Schillinger to Griner. His 5th touchdown reception of the year.
Griner from the split end position just finds a hole up the middle, curls up in the hole, and he just threads a needle. Outstanding pass. You know who that passer reminds me a little bit of? The athletic director here at Colonia that isn't here today. Bill Gates used to throw the ball that way, I remember.
Bill Gates, the athletic director here at Colonia High School, recovering from an illness, and I know that everyone at the high school wishes him a speedy recovery. And Bill, I've got to tell you, your job is being taken over quite well by Steve Gleitzman, who is filling in for Bill Gates, and I'd like to personally thank Steve Gleitzman for his assistance in preparing for today. Patriots leading now 12-0. It appears as if they will be going for the 2-point conversion.
I wish I knew what kind of an offense Woodbridge has. We haven't seen very much of it, have we, Paul?
Only 3 plays worth. They fake the run up the middle. They fake the reverse. And they pass it well too far into the end zone. So the pass is no good, and for the 2nd consecutive time, Colonia has been denied the extra point. But that doesn't matter much when you own a 12-0 lead in the early stages of the 2nd quarter. And I'm sure that gentleman, Frank Capraro, is also wondering what his offense is going to look like today. Woodbridge has only snapped the ball 3 times offensively.
And once again, there's a good example of a team controlling the ball with the short passing game. Their running attack, although it's been adequate, it really hasn't been a dominant factor this afternoon. It's been their passing attack that's made the big plays for them every time. I think they've converted just about every 3rd and long situation or 4th and long situation that they had.
Zalesnik and Urban are back deep to receive for the Barrons. The Patriots scored their 2nd touchdown and now lead 12-0. Fabo gets it back deep. Zalesnik will field it on the 3. And Zalesnik gets out to about the 16-yard line.
It's important now for Woodbridge to maintain its cool. You know, they can't panic. They're only 2 scores down.
For Colonia, their 2nd scoring drive was a 9-play drive, 7 of those on the ground, 2 of them in the air, including the most important one, Griner hauling in a 12-yard reception from quarterback Mark Schillinger, 77 yards in 9 plays. And we have an injured Colonia player on the field.
That touchdown pass happened to be an outstanding catch by Griner. I can see why he's caught as many balls as he had. He's caught 4 TDs before this game. That's his 5th touchdown, Paul.
5th touchdown of the year on only. And our official clock is no longer an official clock. It is still reading 4:03 left in the first quarter. But we do know it is Colonia 12, Woodbridge nothing. Sosnowski rolling out right, looks for Roger Vernon, and Vernon has it at about the 23-yard line.
Here's a good 6-yard gainer on play action pass. They're going to have to be satisfied to peck away as they did. Good play.
they mark Vernon down at the 20-yard line. So Vernon, coming into the game, has been averaging 10 yards per reception. His fourth reception, however, only goes for 3 yards. Fourth reception of the year, that is.
Pretty soon he's going to go out there in the flat, and the time that cornerback comes up to cover him close, he's going to head downfield, and they're going to try to hit him deep, I'm sure.
Third and long situation coming up for the Barrons. Pickup of 2 on the play. Let's call it 3rd and 5 for Woodbridge.
And as I said before, Woodbridge can't afford to panic. They've got to be patient. Maybe a draw call here or a screen. Something short, something reasonably safe. They can't turn the ball over here and give Colonia an opportunity to get into that third TD.
Boudelet in motion. They fake into the line. Sosnowski goes to Vernon. Vernon has it across the 25.
He's
near
close.
The 27. It will be close enough to maybe call for the chains. So Roger Vernon making his second completion of the day, and here it is once again on the replay.
Now, if he just put his head down, and of course he didn't know exactly where he was, he most certainly would have had that first down, but he tried to get big yardage, and you can't blame him for that, for sure.
First down,
yep.
Well, he got enough yardage. Maybe not big yardage, but certainly enough yardage for Roger Vernon.
Also proved that Woodbridge can also throw the ball in the same kind of play-action passes that Colonia used. They're trying to find the zones behind the linebacker, in front of the safeties.
The ball is marked at the 27-yard line, and that's where Woodbridge has their first down of the day.
I think that was the right side of the Woodbridge line that moved a little early. No. Got an infraction by the Colonia defensive end.
5 yards for the encroachment penalty against Colonia.
From their own 31. Come on, Colonia!
Brings up a big 1st and 5 for the Barrons. Lukacs and Boudelet in the backfield to give to Lukacs. Bounces off one player and then dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
Those are the bread and butter plays of the wing T, and I think they're going to find it difficult running at that big Colonia defensive line. That line that averages about 220. Now that line's as big as most Division II or Division III football teams, so they're going to be pretty hard to run right at. Not unless they do establish a pass first, as Colonia did.
Mike Lando was the man who made the tackle on the play. Let's see what happens on 2nd and 5. Straight drop for Sosnowski. He goes long into the flat, and he's got a man completed to Kindler, and Kindler stays on his feet as he brings it into Colonia territory for a Barron first down.
Outstanding pass and a great catch. The defender was playing him as tight as he could.
Eric Kindler with only his 3rd reception of the season, but he catches him for big yardage, averaging 15 per reception. He got about 15 on that play.
That time both the defender and the receiver went up for the ball, and the receiver came down with it. But he was being guarded as tight as you can guard him.
From the 44, 1st and 10, to give to Lukacs up the middle. And Lukacs has about 3 or 4 yards. And Bill, I don't know if you've noticed it, but it looked like we walked into a passing game today.
Yeah, it seems that way, and at least the passing game seems to be opening up for the running game. Some people feel like you have to run the ball in order to pass. Well, in both these situations, for both these teams this afternoon, the passing game has made both teams able to run the ball.
2nd and 7, 3 for Lukacs. Roll out right, looking long for Vernon. Intercepted by Robert Haynes. And a flag is thrown after the play. Haynes made a tremendous one-handed interception. And let's see if the replay shows. I'm sure he gets inbounds here.
I thought he did, Paul, but we'll see now. Let's get a real good look. You know, he only needs 1 foot in. This isn't the pros. This is high school. He only needs 1 foot in. Let's see. Yeah, he had both feet in.
Oh, yeah, at least definitely had the one in.
Both feet in. And I think that's what the official ruled. And now I don't know what followed that play. A little bit of frustration, maybe.
Well, Robert Haynes appears that he has picked off a pass here. And both teams have changed sides, but now the penalty is the important thing.
I'm sure the reception will be allowed, the interception will be allowed. And I really didn't see what happened.
50. Number 50. Haynes in here. You got one by white, going the other way. You got one by blue, one by white. One by blue, one by
Here's
white.
the end of that play, the interception by Haynes. Watch him just stick up the one hand and haul it in.
And it seems as though both feet come down inbounds. Now, here we see the end line. Okay, now he's out of bounds, but he caught the ball inbounds. Then he may have said something or done something. I don't know.
Either that, there's definitely a foul against Colonia. Colonia has the ball at their own 12. I'll tell you everything I know right now, and then I'll guess about the rest of it. Colonia has the ball at their 12. And you could hear the referee say there's one foul going both ways. There's one against Colonia, one against Woodbridge. The Colonia foul might be a clip after the interception. So Dick Monterante in the white hat talking it over with his crew, and they try to sort out the assorted penalties. And now we're walking the other way. It was a nice pass by Sosnowski. It was on the mark, but Haynes just made a tremendous defensive play. All right, here it is. Dead ball foul. Dead ball foul against the defense. So there was a foul against Colonia, which I believe I heard someone say was a clip. Then there was a dead ball foul against Woodbridge.
There was a dead ball foul against Colonia, 15 yards, and then there was a foul against Woodbridge on...
So it was one foul each way.
And now let's play football.
And after we sort everything out, Colonia will start on their own 28-yard line. Schillinger calling signals, having an excellent day so far. He gives to Szysvety. Szysvety still on his feet. Picks up about 3 extra yards. Szysvety looked like he was stopped cold at the 30, and he just kept those legs moving and picked up another 2 or 3 yards.
Szysvety's 210 pounds. He's 6 feet, and he's a strong boy. He's got a lot of drive, a lot of power, as you suggested. He got an extra 3 yards on that play.
Official timeout for a measurement.
They say Szysvety got close enough for a measurement at the 33. The first down, maybe it was 1st and 5. He only got 5 yards on the carry.
I didn't understand that, Paul. I'm sorry.
Maybe we'll try and clear that up at the half. But Szysvety only got about 5 or 6 yards on the carry. Szysvety with the carry. He's out to the 40-41-yard line.
32 down to Szysvety, and he was stopped by number 60, Bob Barrons, and also assisted by number 24, Ron Zelensky. Second and 3 for the Patriots on their own 41-yard line.
All right, I've got the explanation now. Team rushing, Colonia obviously dominating so far in rushing. And their passing attack has also been fantastic today. So it's going to be a second and short yardage. Cisvetti with the carry. All right, here's the official explanation, Bill.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
After the foul, they set the chains at point X on the field. Then they marked off the yardage against Colonia.
Let's start at the beginning now.
Okay, the
interception took place.
The interception is good.
A foul
against Colonia, dead ball foul.
On that play.
On that play.
Okay.
They mark they put the ball down at approximately the 12 or so, and they mark first down right there.
Okay.
Then they walked off the foul against Woodbridge to a point where it became 1st and 5 yards.
That was the unsportsmanship foul.
So where it was going to be 1st and almost 20 for Colonia, 15 yards back against Woodbridge made it 1st and 5. Rob Spinello with the carry, and he seems to have enough for a first down for Colonia. This time they took 10 yards to get the first down. They went the whole distance this time.
That was Jeff Graham on that stop. Jeff Graham, 6'6", he's 230 pounds, and he's a good football player. In fact, that defensive line has got...
That was the
10th. Has got good size.
10th first down for the Patriots to only 2 for the Barrons. The ball rests at the Colonia 45-yard line. 12-0, Patriots in front. The give to Vic Heidacher, and there are lots of flags in on the play. Holding. It's been a particularly long first half, but not because of penalties. Remember, we had an injured referee. We've had 2 shaken up players for Colonia that stopped the clock, and then we had this long discussion after the interception.
Woodbridge has a choice. It'll be either 1st and 20 or 2nd and 10, and they're going to make it, and I don't blame them. They're going to make it 1st and 25. 1st and 25.
The ball goes all the way back to the Colonia 30, and they will have to get to the Woodbridge 45 for a first down. On the day, that was the 3rd penalty against Colonia. Each team with 3. Woodbridge has been hurt just a little bit more in terms of yardage on penalties, 35 to 28. Each team with 3 penalties. Schillinger looking left. He goes to the sidelines. It was completed. Nice catch by Robert Haynes.
Evidently, the Colonia defense is very concerned about the deep pass because they're playing exceptionally deep.
The Woodbridge defense.
Right. The Woodbridge defense, I'm sorry, is playing very deep. Their secondary looked to be about 14, 15 yards deep, and what they're doing is they're throwing underneath.
Officials timeout for a change of players. A Woodbridge player had an equipment problem. They had to send him off the field to get it repaired, and now we're back into our live action. And again, our clock is out, so I really can't tell you how much time is left in the first half. And we've got movement possibly on Robert Haynes, the split end.
He wanted to go. Paul, I have to note that both these teams seem to be very well prepared. You know, they're making the big plays, but both teams are well prepared. They seem to be very well coached. They seem to know what to expect from each other, and sometimes it's difficult to stop it.
Pat Barbado, now in his 8th season at Colonia, has a winning record. He's 34, 30, and 5. Pat's best season in terms of wins was back in 1982 when he had an 8-win season. Five yards marched off against Colonia. And again, we have a official timeout. And this is for the official 4-minute warning. 4-minute warning being given to each bench as Dick Moderante makes his way across the field, and we're going to take our little break ourselves, and we'll be right back. Colonia in front, 12-0.
Weekend number 5 of the high school football season is alive.
On 2nd and 19, Robert Haynes brings it out to the 50, but you really didn't miss much because there's a flag on the play, and the whole play is going to come back anyway. Less than 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Colonia leading 12-0. They have scored on every possession so far, and they have only had the ball twice. They scored on their first possession, Rob Spinello going in on a run from 5 yards out, and then on the very next possession, an 18-yard touchdown pass from Mark Schillinger to Scott Greiner. Neither extra point was made, and Colonia does lead 12-0. Each team, well, Woodbridge has had the ball twice. This is Colonia's third possession.
I think Woodbridge would like one more good shot at the ball, Paul. In order to do that, they've got to keep Colonia right where they are.
Major penalty, personal foul, holding.
If they can go into that half with one score to their credit, why, you know, it's going to be a whole different ball game the second half. By no means are they out of the ball game, but they could force Colonia into a mistake down here. Why? That's just a spark they might need.
Second
They're
down.
not being manhandled. They're not being overplayed.
2nd and 34 for the Patriots. They go right up the middle for Shizvetti. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Heidacher, 31.
What they try to do is spread the defense, send trips one side and split the other receiver and try to hit quick up the middle. Man-to-man blocking inside.
3rd and 32 for Colonia from their own 33.
Colonia, you can't get much better on 3rd down conversions, 5 of 6.
I don't think they're going to go for the big one. I don't think they're going to try to get it all back this time.
And I got to add that the one that they missed, they then converted on 4th down, which was the touchdown pass to Greiner. Schillinger across the middle. Did Shimko hold it in? No, he didn't. Dave Shimko, the intended receiver, and I thought for a moment he had it.
He had it, but he trapped it, Paul. He never really had it in the air. But the ball was right where it could be caught, wasn't it?
And right there, he did not hold on. Vernon hit him and forced him to lose it. Mike Chin is on to punt for Colonia. He will be making his first punt of the day. There is number 41.
Here's a kind of big play that I spoke of that Woodbridge needs right now.
Roger Vernon is back to receive. He's on his own 35. The snap is a bit high.
Whoa.
Flag is down. Vernon has it at the 35, and Spinello will not let him get any further. Good coverage by the Patriots, but we may have a roughing the kicker, and that would bring it all the way back. Here it is on the replay. Let's see if we watch it. Chin.
They were coming. He may have touched him, but he sure as heck didn't hurt him, did he?
And that may not have even been the penalty.
No, no.
It might have been a hold. Let's see what it is.
Let's see where they mark it off. It may be against a kicking team.
And from the way Pat Barbado is reacting, it is not roughing the kicker.
It's something that the offensive people did, Paul.
That's right. See, that's why our replay showed that Chin wasn't even hit, because it was not roughing the kicker. Colonia wants and does use their second timeout of the half.
Blocking below the waist in the offensive team.
All right, we've got a Colonia timeout here with, I would guess, a little less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Certainly enough time to score, Paul. And like I say, if Woodbridge can get the ball into the end zone before the gun goes off for the half, they'll be in good shape.
One player that Woodbridge is obviously missing is Darren Petro. Darren is the senior quarterback for this team. Darren is with us here in the booth. Darren, you suffered a broken collarbone. When did that happen?
That was the week before the first game.
So you haven't played at all yet this year?
Right.
When do you think you might get back into the action?
Next week, definitely.
All right. Obviously, you missed playing.
Yeah.
You're still obviously with the team during practices?
Oh, yeah. I throw the ball every day, and I have to do these exercises for the collarbone, so make it stronger.
And you're almost 100% sure to be back next week.
Yep.
All right, Darren, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Darren Petro, a outstanding quarterback for the Woodbridge Barrons. Punt to Vernon. Vernon fields it at the 50, and he's down at about the 46-yard line.
Good kick and good coverage. Darren's sitting next to me, Paul, and I think he dies on just about every play.
Darren was a second-team all-conference quarterback last year.
I know just how he feels. That's a terrible feeling, not being able to help.
Well, the Barrons are in certainly good field position right now. They have the ball at Colonia's 46. Sosnowski, straight drop, setting up the screen, and he completes it to Kindler. And it is an incomplete pass. They rule the ball was dropped by Kindler, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Real hard. Yeah, that was a real hard tackle. Let's see that again. Had he completed the pass, it would have been about a 3-yard gain just as well. He was really hit hard.
Woodbridge today offensively has run the ball only 11 times, 5 times on the ground, 6 in the air. Colonia, as you see, has had the ball for 33 offensive plays. Sosnowski, straight drop, looking to the right side, almost picked off by Spinello. Spinello dropped back from his defensive end position and almost had himself an interception.
Very difficult to throw the ball now, Paul, when everybody knows you're going to have to throw the ball. Not the kind of position that you want to put a young junior quarterback in, you know. Now he's going to step back and throw, and there are going to be five people coming hard, maybe more, I don't know.
And six dropping back to where the ball's going to be.
Right. Those big ends are coming hard now.
Here's the rush. Spinello almost gets him. Sosnowski still on his feet, loops it into the middle of the field, and it falls incomplete.
Quarterback did a fine job of not being sacked, but he kind of threw it up for grabs. It's a matter of desperation, you know. You could understand that. He wants to do something. He wants something to happen.
Good stiff arm. Did keep Spinello away for a moment. But then he put it up in the middle of the field, and that is a junior mistake,
right.
First-year mistake for a player.
Well, he wants to see something happen, you know. They're down by 2 touchdowns, and he thinks we're...
And Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Only one high school football game next week, but you can see it Saturday evening and Sunday morning. Sosnowski drops back on 3rd down, guns it outside for Boudelet, and it falls incomplete on 4th and 10.
4th down, Paul.
Now it's 1st down for Colonia. That was 4th. Woodbridge going on 4th down.
Well, you have to take those chances. You got to play to win the ball game, and you've got to gamble sometime when you're behind.
So
Very
Colonia
easy to make calls when you're on top.
Colonia starts from their own 46-yard line. On the day, they have had 3 very good drives. Well, first one at 15 yards, that came out to be a touchdown. 9 yards for a touchdown. 8 plays is a pretty good drive, but then they had to give it away on a punt.
I'd be surprised to see them throw the ball now, and I'm going to be surprised.
Yep, here comes Schillinger looking across the middle for Simcoe. Simcoe has it at the 34-yard line, and just a saving tackle by Zalesnik kept him from going the distance.
Holding on the offense, Paul. Oh, I'm sorry, blocking below the waist on the offense.
Good saving tackle by Zalesnik, but as it turns out, he really didn't have to make the tackle. We come back on the offensive penalty. A lot of penalties, and a lot of major penalties against Colonia today. And that's got to be concerning Pat Barbado.
That's blocking below the waist, and I guess some offensive player in attempting to keep a defensive player from getting to the quarterback cut down a defensive player and cut him down below the waist. And it's been about 3 years now that they made that play illegal, and that's a good thing that that play is illegal because it helps save a lot of knees.
More than double the penalty yardage for Colonia And they have suffered, I believe now, 4 or 5 major penalties. 7th penalty of the day against the Patriots for 78 yards.
Now I'm going to be flabbergasted if he throws the ball.
12-0 advantage for the Patriots. Haynes goes left, Griner to the right. Let's see if they run it. Pitch it back for Joe White. White still on his feet, dropped by Ron Lukács and others.
Ball is handed out to number 1224, Joe White.
You know, Paul, I know Frank Capraro. He's a competitor. He still believes he can win this game now. And if he can convince his kids that they can win this game, why, we're in for a great second half.
Woodbridge has asked for their first timeout of the half. And I believe they're trying to get Colonia in a situation where they force the Patriots to punt it away and they get one more shot.
2nd and 26 for the Patriots. Again, I'm going to repeat the previous.
Again, to qualify or at least be considered for the playoffs, you have to have a comparative record of 6-2 after 8 weeks.
Still throwing the ball, Paul.
Looking for Haynes. Haynes fights off his defender and almost comes up with the reception, but a good play by Zalesnik.
Number 36, Robert Haynes.
Haynes is a big player, 6'4", 200, and he's just a junior.
And he's running down against people that are about 5'9", 5'8", and it's certainly been a factor. He's a bigger receiver than the defenders, and he's going to have an edge if the ball's thrown up a little higher.
I don't know if Haynes plays for Bob Tisdale's Patriots basketball team, but he certainly has the height to be able to. Schillinger today, 7 of 10, 82 yards, 1 touchdown pass. He's had quite a first half. Gives to Robert Haynes. Haynes with some blocking up the middle, and Haynes gets out to his own 45-yard line.
And he was stopped by number 51, Tom Rosen, after a long game.
And I believe that Woodbridge has called for a timeout.
Timeout, Woodbridge.
Because it'll be 4th and 11 yards to go.
And they're going to kick the ball.
4th and about 4th and 11.
Mike Chin has come on to do the kicking for the Patriots. There you see Robert Haynes.
I don't know how much time's left, but I'm sure Woodbridge will be coming in to block the kick.
Fourth down and 11, and Colonia will punt it away. Roger Vernon is deep to receive. There you see Mike Chin has punted once today. He's kicking now from his own 44. Good snap. He booms this one into the end zone. A 56-yard punt for Mike Chin.
Paul, in high school ball, once that ball goes into the end zone, automatically play is stopped and it comes out to the 20.
56-yarder for Mike Chin.
He's been kicking well. That's a good part of their game, and in close contests, that's going to be a factor for sure.
Colonia doing well on all levels. Their sophomore team, I heard, just beat Perth Amboy 20-0. Their freshman team picked up a win yesterday to improve to 3-2 on the season. Sosnowski dropping back, good protection, going long, incomplete, and we have a flag, possibly offensive interference.
No question. He pushed off, Paul. It was very obvious. He pushed off just before he thought the ball was getting to him.
It really wasn't catchable by anyone.
Let's see what happens. Yeah.
It looks like offensive pass interference.
And a very good call.
Offensive interference.
Officials this afternoon, Paul, have been doing an outstanding job.
Jim Boyle, the man who is flying out for the Barrons, and
they've had to make some difficult calls, and then made them all, and then made them right, and then made them emphatically. The ball game has always been in control, which is so important.
Major penalty. It's half the distance at this point. It goes back to the 10, but more importantly, it is also loss of down. So it is a 2nd and 20 coming up for Woodbridge. And I don't know if anybody's still running the clock down there. It's been a long, long time since the 4-minute warning.
For the Barrons from their own 10-yard line.
2nd and 20. Fake to Urban. They went up the middle. Lukacs on the carry, and he got 8 yards.
They have been able to run the ball, and they're not a bad offensive team. They just haven't had the opportunity.
Woodbridge calls for time. I believe that is their last timeout. So I believe each team in a tournament championship from West Essex High School. 18 seconds remain.
And I think
the first
Woodbridge
half.
just wants to run out the clock, Paul, and go back and regroup. And Frank's going to tell his kids, hey, we're only 2 touchdowns down. We scored 2 touchdowns. We win this game. And it's a fact.
Sosnowski looking right side. Intercepted. Intercepted by Heidacher. And Heidacher runs it back to the 25. The clock will stop. And Colonia will get a chance to add to their 12-point lead. Vic Heidacher with an interception. Right now the ball on the 26, which would mean a 43-yard field goal attempt if that were in the plans.
And the clock is running, and I think the clock just ran out.
And not enough time to get anything off. But Colonia goes into the locker room happy. They are enjoying a 12-0 lead at the half, and you will be enjoying the Colonia High School Marching Band at the half, because we'll be right back with our halftime presentation.